This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. Their in-studio podcast experience allows you to record perfect audio and capture amazing video, all right here at the Mitt TV Podcast Studios in Romeo, Michigan. Contact them now via email for a free consultation and to schedule a studio visit at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. I'm Ruth Heidebreck, and you are at the Mitt TV studios in Romeo, Michigan. And you know you've reached a pinnacle in life when people know you by a single name. And in Romeo and in our surrounding communities, there is a man called Richard Cory, and he's with us today in the studio. Richard, you don't need to introduce yourself, but you've done so many things from the time that you were a young man till now you're an old man.
Older.
Older man. And can you tell us a little bit about how you started? I know you go all the way back to 1967.
Well, that's 1967, Ruth, when I graduated from Romeo.
Mm-hmm.
And because I had lost my parents, they passed away, I got to go to college for free. It was part of their insurance thing. So anyways, I went to Northern, and then when I came home, Romeo had a parish house, it was called,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a drug drop-in place for kids. So I worked there, and I was like the recreational director. And then one day, the kids wanted to get a softball team, so I walked up to the youth center, and R.J. Brainerd was running it at the time, and I said I wanted to get on the softball team. And then he said, well, what are you doing? And I said, well, not much, and I'm just looking for a job. And then he said, how would you like my job? And I'm going, R.J.'s job, running the community center, the youth center. So I applied, and I got the job, and I think I was 22 at the time. So, we did all the stuff up there, and we had summer programs, 600 kids we ran through. And so I have been involved with the community really since college.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the, let's see, so that helped start Parks and Rec.
Right.
We needed a Parks and Rec, and I felt like, people were starting to move in. They wanted more programming, and so we just started doing, like, back then it was macrame, caning. I know, caning chairs, tie-dyeing, but we started those programs, and they became popular. And then it got to the point where I knew that the board had to hire somebody
Mm-hmm.
that's been to school for this. I started it, but we needed help. So I stepped aside, and then they started hiring people. And now, of course, Clara's there doing a great job.
Right.
And then in the 80s, I went to Specs Howard School of Broadcasting. Mm-hmm. And I came home, and I was working in radio in Detroit, WCAR. I was doing news, sports, and weather. And then I saw an item in the Romeo paper. It said they started a TV station. So I went down there, and I walked in, and a guy named Greg DeLauro was running it. And he, all he had was a desk. So basically I said, do you need some help? And I left 25 years later. So I know that's something else. And all during that time, I've been involved with the Romeo Bulldogs. And I'm kind of proud to say, and it might sound a little braggy, but I just finished up my 37th year, either, covering the Bulldogs with TV,
Mm-hmm.
or announcing or keeping score for the girls and the boys. This last year, I think I did 60 games.
Wow.
So that was my 37th year. So.
And that's all volunteer work.
No,
No?
I work for the AD.
You actually get paid for that?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually get paid. But so I think a lot with me, Ruth, I was just at the right place at the right time, and I think it was good. I kind of knew my weaknesses and, when to step aside and things.
Yeah.
But so now we're at trying to save that property up
Yeah.
on Prospect Street.
So we have you here today talking about this grassroots initiative that has been brought about by just a small group in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about how that all started.
Well, I play basketball down at the Catholic church every Sunday, and one of the guys says to me, "I got rejected. I put in a bid to buy the property at the high school, or at the middle school." And I said, "Well, I didn't even know it was for sale." And so I think I got a hold of the school, and they said, "Yeah, it was for sale." So I just made a flyer up and walked around the neighborhood. Maybe 50 houses I hit. Just put a basically the thing said, if you they're trying to sell the property, they want to put 17 houses there. Let's all
Mhm.
get together and just talk about it. So about 35 or 40 of us met the first time at the community center, and out of that came the GSOP group, and now there's a
Right.
subcommittee, and we have monthly meetings with everybody to keep everybody informed, and we went to the school board for like 8 months,
Right.
and finally they passed a resolution to give us till June 1st to work out a deal to purchase the property. So we're in that stage now.
Right. Yeah. And that's where I started finding out about it from you. And we started talking about our history with the old high school. Because I went to
Yeah,
seventh and eighth grade
yeah.
in that high school. And we've watched things change now. And the group that you have right now has been doing an amazing job. Talk a little bit about some of the people that are involved in that committee, because they're just rocking it right now.
Yeah, they really are. And the best thing that happened to us really is Donna Folan.
Yeah.
She is ahead of I think the Parks and Rec
Mm-hmm.
in Oakland County.
Yep.
So she's got all these connections, and she knows about grants, and she knows how to get a hold of people in the county, and she's got the credentials for, if we just call them up, we're not, we're just everyday citizens,
Right.
and they
Get in
really,
line.
yeah, get in line. But she has these connections that she's made over the years. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. I think she dropped out of heaven. She's like an angel for us.
She is.
She has started, her and her daughter has started the website. They do the
Mm-hmm.
printing for the posters, the postcards. And so she's a big help. And Elizabeth Miller
Mm-hmm.
has been helping us a lot. And she's the type of person that keeps her foot in your back. She
Right.
don't let you lag around. And then we got Rob Wing,
Yep.
and he's kind of been our social media guy. And then we have a fighter pilot who lives near the property. His name is Franco Ferlini.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the subgroup. I don't think I've missed anybody. So we
Yeah.
meet we meet almost we meet sometimes a couple times a week, and then we get the information of what we're doing, and then we lead it into the big group.
Right.
And every month we go to the village and we go to the school board to keep everybody informed of what we're doing.
Right. Yeah. And the presentations that Donna Folan has been doing,
Oh,
in
PowerPoint.
conjunction, yeah, I worked with her on the tree board, and she's a wealth of knowledge
Mm,
with parks. And I mean, you can't beat that kind of help being in the ground floor of
mm-hmm,
this project.
mm-hmm.
Now, you also brought in Fort County that has really kind of started to spearhead things with Donna Folan and the committee. What position do they have in this whole scene?
Well, we just can't collect money. I mean,
Hmm.
some people are given, they want to pledge. We're pledging now, no money, but we had to have a, a a group, and was the Fort County Foundation, because they've given so much to everybody over the years. Uh, so Donna knew the lady that's running it now, and they're gonna help us collect the money and make sure everything gets to where it's supposed to go. When eventually there'll be a transaction where somebody buys the property
Mm-hmm.
and either probably gives it to the village,
Mm-hmm.
and then but we just needed a way, because we have a couple big donors, and they want to make sure that money goes to that property,
Right.
not just anywhere, or it
Right.
just goes into. So the Four County Foundation has got to, and they're helping us, and I
Right.
think they're going to help us a little bit financially too. So
Yeah, we have hopes for that.
yeah.
Now you've got an anonymous donor right
Hmm.
off the bat for 150,000 to match
Hmm.
his donations. I mean, that was a big boost to
Yeah.
get to the eventual number, which is what, 500,000?
Yeah, that's what we're shooting for. Yeah, just before Christmas, he called me and he just said, I want to help you. He was reading about it in the paper. And of course, he's a Romeo guy because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you hear everything in Romeo. And so he said, let me put some numbers together. Then after Christmas, he called me and said, he floored me. He said $150,000. And I'm going, you know, I said, God, give me a second to recover.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and it's a match. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you give 100, you know, he'll make it 200. So that puts us, you know, in the range of 300,000 because I
Mm-hmm.
think we can raise the 150 and that gets us to 3 and then, you know, we got our big thing coming up too in April. So
Right. But the date, that's like tomorrow. Your due date is by June, right?
June 1st, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But I have a feeling that if we say we're at well, we got to find out how much the school wants. You know,
Right.
we haven't done that yet.
Yeah. And
People,
you're going to get the land appraised too.
yeah.
Get an
So,
accurate number.
yeah, once we get all that in, then we're going to know our figure, and then I think if we're close, let's say the school wants 600, and
Right.
we got 5. I think they would give us another month or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would. I mean, that's kind of the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And they've been, you know, they've partnered with us. We feel like they've partnered with us, and so you know, just keep everything positive and
Right.
keep moving forward.
Yeah, they've been listening to you and they came down and said, "Okay, we would be willing to, make this deal happen and not stop you because
Well, they
they
voted
could have
seven
put
zero. That's
yeah.
huge. That was
Yeah.
huge, you know. So, yeah. So, you know, working with those people up there, they're all good people. You know, and they're
Yeah.
all volunteers. That's what people forget. The school
Yeah.
board people are volunteers.
Yeah.
They give a lot of time. And once we started going to the meetings like 8 months ago or 9 months ago, I couldn't believe how many meetings they had
Yeah.
and workshops.
Yeah.
And they do it all
We
for
film
free.
them.
Yeah. And you know.
And we do it for free.
Yeah. There you go.
So it's June is coming up fast, and I met a lot of the people that came to the Green Space fundraiser at Gray's house
Hmm.
a couple weeks ago, and I was surprised to see how many people came to the first public kind of fundraiser. And you're looking at trying to get to that number by June. So how can people, one, contact the website, and how do they donate? Can they donate right online, or do
Yeah,
they need to see someone?
no, you can do it right online.
Okay.
If you go to geez, what is it? Green Space Romeo, I think it's called.
We'll check it out and show it on the screen.
Yeah, that's the website. You go there and there's a QR code,
Yes.
and people are already doing it. They just take a picture of the QR code, and then you can donate. I know I took a postcard to basketball last week, and the guy says, "Oh, let me take a picture of it." So I took a picture of it, and that turned into some donations. But it's easy once you get on there, and like I said,
It
at
is.
this point,
It's a very simple website.
no money, just pledging.
Right.
Let's pledge and let's get up towards that number. Then once everything falls in line with the 4 County Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
then that's when we'll ask for the money.
Right. Right. And so far, I mean, even the event that happened on Monday, explain the connection between those two groups.
Well,
The
village?
national, yeah, no, the green space and the people that you're partnering with.
Oh, 6 Rivers?
Yes.
No, I haven't been in on those conversations, but Donna has, and she's kept me kind of abreast. So they're a conservancy, and it's my belief that what they do, because when you have a green space, it can go fast.
Yeah.
A developer can buy it, then it's gone. Once it's gone, the hammers start, smacking the nails. But the 6 Rivers, what they'll do is they'll purchase the property. And then we, the grassroots group or GSOP, has to pay them back, but they give you like a year or maybe a little bit more. And so they secure the property. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Yes.
It's going to be a green space. Now let's get the money together. So that would be really
Yeah.
ideal. And then eventually, though, it's got to, some entity like the village
Right.
has to purchase it from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, really, for the village, we're gonna raise the money
It's
for
going to
them.
be easy.
Yeah, all we're gonna do is put a package on their at their board agenda and say, here's a free park.
Yeah.
Just vote for it, and it's yours.
Wow, I can't see that happening anywhere, could I?
Well,
So, what's the connection with this space matters? Because they started to add that
hmm
as a tagline and kind of a saying that you can add to this.
yeah. What's going on there is, I think it's the National Historical Trust.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nonprofit. I think it's out of Washington D.C. And that's kind of their logo. This place matters. And so people all over the United States, because I tell you, you travel a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I do a little bit. And everywhere I go, I pick up the local newspaper,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody everywhere is trying to save green space.
Right.
They're trying to keep density down, keep if somebody wants to build 500 units on a corner, well, you'd start debating it or talking back and forth, and maybe you can get it down to three.
Right.
But everybody's doing it all over, especially green space.
Yeah.
So I think that's so to answer your question, it's a national group, and we're now part of it, and we really do believe that space up there matters. The
Right.
University of Michigan started there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you went through there. 9 people in my family went through there. We've had so many wonderful stories about that property. It'd be a shame to put
Yeah.
17 houses there instead of a
And
green space.
you said something on Monday when we were all out there freezing in the park. You look back at that park, and I don't remember the exact words, but it was like, just imagine that we could preserve this for generations
Mm-hmm.
if we act now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not many green spaces in the village of Romeo. And it's a beautiful village. And that's what people come to a village for,
Mm-hmm.
is green spaces, so they can meet, their neighbors. If you don't have those kind of places, you never meet your neighbor.
Right.
So it's an amazing project, and we're happy to be involved in it, and we're looking for great things to happen in the next 3 months.
And I think one of the things that's really big about it is, and because you went up to the fundraiser up at the Gray House, was there are young people there.
Yeah.
There's young people that want to get involved. Like, they had one guy was carrying his little baby. I went over and kind of shook that little girl's hand, says, "Hey, we're going to try to do this for you."
Yeah.
And because they live right across the street from the property. So it's just exciting. It's a once in a lifetime. If we don't do this, we're going to have a lot of
It's gonna be
houses there.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I walked out of Youngers for St. Patty's Day, and there was a group of Gen Zs standing there, and they came up to me and they said, "How do we get involved with that park thing that's
Oh
happening?
my goodness.
We live around there and we want to get involved." And I was like, wow, the young people are getting involved in these kind of causes.
They are.
It makes you have faith about what our world's going to be like.
Well, I can tell you, last night, I went to the Romeo Historical Society. They meet in the old police station.
Yeah.
And there was young people there on their board and stuff.
Oh, that's
And
wonderful.
one lady even brought her 2 little kids.
Oh,
And, because you think historical, it's a bunch of old guys or old
Right.
people in there, talking about the past,
yeah.
But no, it really, it just warms your heart, because that's really, and I know, like, we should say that, the amount of time and energy and money you put into the Romeo downtown, or the Romeo,
Central Park.
yeah,
Yeah.
is that what it's called, Central
I
Park?
don't know.
Where
Yeah,
the
Village
gazebo,
Park.
yeah, where the
Yeah.
gazebo was and all that.
Yeah.
And now you go there now, and there's,
There's so many people.
I know, people are using it.
It's
They put an igloo up even.
yeah.
So that was
yeah,
pretty cool.
for the winter.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's been a interesting project, and it's a
no, it looks
project
beautiful.
out of the heart. So I'm gonna go there when I'm 80 years old, still sit in that park.
There is a time capsule there too.
I know.
I
And we're
think-
gonna be putting some more time capsules in there.
I think that one gets opened in 2060.
Cool.
Yeah, it was
Will
going to
we
be there
still
for
be
50.
around?
I don't know. It'd be nice.
Yeah. Well, I hope this, I know this is going to go through. There's so many people jumping on board right now in this community, and that's what a village is all about. So I just want to thank you for
Okay.
coming to our new podcast studio.
Well, thank you. It's beautiful here.
And Donna Fullen, she's going to start doing a weekly update
Oh, wow.
on the park. So with 3 months, we've got to get a lot of information out there and keep the public informed.
I agree. And this is a great way, and it's definitely appreciated.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks for being here with us.
Okay.
All right, see you later. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. Their in-studio podcast experience allows you to record perfect audio and capture amazing video, all right here at the Mitt TV Podcast Studios in Romeo, Michigan. Contact them now via email for a free consultation and to schedule a studio visit at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com.